This is the Velotric Discover 2, and it's probably one of the most highly anticipated e-bikes of the year. Dude, this is crazy. They say you can put the battery of this e-bike in a washing machine for 30 minutes and it'll still be good to go.
They say it is IPX7 rated. Let's give it a dip.
Last year I reviewed the Velotric Discover 1 and it was probably one of the best bang for the buck e-bikes on the market. This one has a ton of improvements, including a new top speed.
Probably hit 30, 31.
This one has a 750 watt nominal motor with 1100 watts of peak power output. A huge power increase over the original. They say we can do 75 miles of range on this e-bike, and one of the best improvements on this e-bike is probably the torque sensor.
And UL certified. Legitimately UL certified.
Of course, with all of these improvements, the price does go up just a little bit. You can see the current price in the link below this video in the description box. I also have a discount code down there if you decide to buy this bike, but do not buy the Velotric Discover 2 just yet. We need to run this thing through the 18-mile tail-happy circuit, see what kind of range remains on the battery after that ride. We gotta run this thing up to 20% grade, see how well it handles hills. We gotta test the brakes, we gotta test the acceleration and the top speed. We gotta run this thing through the ringer to see whether or not it's worth the money.
This is a great idea, said nobody ever. Let's put it back in the bike and see what happens. Here goes nothing.
Let's build your sweet ride. We'll check that box out later, but first, let's get this thing out of the box. Let's check out these wheels. Rolling on Kenda tires, 27.5 by 2.4 inches wide. They are a street-friendly tread pattern with a puncture resistance. Brake rotors on the Discover 2 have been upgraded to Tektro 180 millimeters. I can also see we'll be rolling on a through axle. It's a little bit stronger and sturdier than a typical axle, and it comes with fenders that are metal. And the frame color on this bike is cherry crimson, which I think is beautiful, but there are other color options available in the link below this video in the description box. As we can see, this is the step-through frame, making it easy to get on and off. And here is the UL certification sticker, UL 2849 to be specific. It's basically a fire and electrical safety rating. There's a ton of bikes out there that do not have that UL certification. Battery is frame integrated. Actual battery should be in this box. It is a frame color matched battery. After we charge it, it'll just drop right in like that. And to take it off, you use your keys. Right up here, pops right off. It's got a little handle to carry it. Battery is branded Velotric. It is rated for 705.6 watt hours. See how much this thing weighs. 9 pounds, 14 ounces. So it's a pretty solid battery size. Should get some pretty good range out of it. What are we gonna charge it with? They are all about the UL certification in Apple Find My ads. Oh, you could scan the QR code and learn more about what UL certification is. I did check that out. They are actually UL certified. I feel like a lot of companies just say they are. And speaking of Apple, look at this packaging, dude. Let's check out this charger. Charger is, check it out. They actually give you this wall mount. You can put this thing on the wall. And it is a 3 amp charger. 48 volts charge to max is 54.6. So 14.4 amp hours divided by 3 amp charge rate. So take about 4.8 hours to charge from completely empty to completely full. This light turns green when it's full. When you plug it in, which you can do either on the bike or off the bike to charge it. It'll turn red as soon as it starts to charge, and then it'll turn green when it's full. Other items are pedals, basic plastic pedals, manual and tools, everything you need to build it right here. And accessories. This is the new TFT display, and I am pumped to see what it looks like. This should be a huge improvement. Here's the headlight, other stuff. Taking a peek around the back side, there is an integrated light with what appears to be turn signals. We'll check that out in a few. The rear rack comes pre-installed, 66 pounds max payload. So this bike does have the Velopower drive system. It's got a Velotric hub motor. Let's see what the numbers are. Stamped 750 watts and a peak power rated for 1100 watts. Running Tektro hydraulic calipers on Tektro 180 millimeter rotors. There is a quick release on the seat to easily adjust the height. This bike is the large frame. They do have another size in the link below this video. Let's check out what kind of seat we'll be rolling on. It actually feels really soft. Like the material feels nice. It's wide and flat. Has a little bit of shape to it. Definitely seems like it'll be comfortable. Some little springs down here, just a little bit. So of course this electric bike has front suspension, the Boost D5. Left stanchion has a preload adjustment. Right stanchion has an adjustment for how firm or how soft you want that suspension, with adjustments in between, open or lock. Handlebar height on this electric bike will be adjustable. This stem will tilt up or down. Let's check out the handlebar. Aim, fire! So handlebars definitely sweep back just a little bit. Rise will be determined by you, how high you want to adjust that. Brake levers are Tektro E3520. Will have rubber ergonomic grips held in place by a bolt so they will not rotate on you. And wow, look at this throttle. I have not seen one like this before. Looks like this will be access to our turn signals, pedal assist, headlight, walk mode, cruise control. Over on the right side, 8 speeds on the shifter. Shimano gear set. I wonder if that's the cruise control. Down here, there is a USB-C. I love to see the USB-Cs and not those old USB ports. So check it out. Here is the through axle. Through axles are a little bit more stronger and secure than a non-through axle. Look how thick that axle is. Makes it just a little bit harder to get your wheel on the first time compared to a quick release lever axle. But once it's on there, this axle is stronger and will have better performance. And these plastic pedals have little grips on them. They will definitely be a little more forgiving if you hit them on your shin compared to like a metal pedal with some real cleats. So they say this thing weighs 63 pounds. Let's see about that. Today I weigh 200.8, and picking this thing up without the battery stepping on the scale, the number is showing 259.2. So is that about 58 pounds for just the bike, plus the battery, which we already saw how much that weighs, about 9.8 pounds. So I guess that'd be about 68 pounds with the battery on there. Discover. We'll be running a Shimano Altus derailleur, and here are the 8 gears we'll be working with on the cassette. And then the chain ring up front is a 46 tooth narrow wide. Let me show you what that is. The purpose of it is to solve the chain from falling off the chain ring. So if you're riding on some harsh terrain or hit some potholes, and this is a little bit harder to show on camera than I thought it was gonna be, but every other tooth on this chain ring, it goes narrow, wide. You can see that one is wide, narrow, wide, narrow, wide. So they alternate, and that matches up perfectly with how a chain works. So it's narrow, wide, narrow, wide. And long story short, the result is it helps keep the chain stuck on the chain ring so it doesn't pop off while you're riding on harsh, bouncy surfaces. All right, dudes, think it's about time to pop that battery on there. Let's peel this off. And the on button is back here. Let's fire up this 3.5 inch TFT display. Boom! Look at that color. Wow, what a huge improvement over the Velotric Discover 1. So we have a color display. So it shows us our battery in terms of a percentage up here in the top left, 74% right now. So we have a boost mode here. So we get odometer, trip distance, average speed, max speed, CO2 saved, calories burned, and wow, those are oddly satisfying clicks on these buttons, man. I'm used to everything just being super mushy. All right, well, it looks like I've accidentally flipped on a blinker here. So when you put the blinker on, it will actually indicate up here on the dash, and you hit the same one to turn it off, and put the other one on, click it off, and then we can turn the pedal assist down to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can see it's changing colors to correspond with the modes. Absolutely gorgeous display, man. TFT on an e-bike. So in addition to the 5 pedal assist levels, you also get eco mode, trail mode, and boost mode. So technically we have 15 levels of pedal assist. Then in the app, which I'll show you here in a few, we might be able to modify those. And we do have the headlight here. It looks like there's an auto headlight. If you hold this plus button, that should, yeah, there we go. Turns on the headlight. It's pretty bright in here, and it's on the handlebars, so it rotates the direction you're pointing the handlebars. So when the light is on, we get a rear light. When I grab the brake lever, it lights up, so it is a brake light. Awesome. And here's what the turn signals look like. Left turn signal and right turn signal. And if I hold the light button, turn off the light, it will turn off that light, but you still get your brake light when I grab the brake lever. Sweet. Real quick, I want to show you what I look like on this bike. I am 6'5", inseam 34. This is the large frame that fits people up to 6'4", down to 5'6". They also have a regular size of this frame that fits people from 4'11" up to 5'9". So on the large, with the handlebars on the standard stock position, they can come up higher, but this is pretty much the lowest. All the lowest settings for 34 inseam, 6'5", and cranking the seat height up to maximum. Now on my actual ride, I might actually raise the handlebars up a bit because they are adjustable. Step-through frame makes it easy for anybody of any height to get on this bike. And on the large frame, seat on maximum height, here's what my pedal stroke looks like. Feels like it actually fits me pretty well. I can still reach the ground. Hello, doggy. So apparently we can hold this M button for a short amount of time and it will load the menu. Wow, this might be the most pretty menu I've ever seen on an e-bike. So you can reset trip data, riding mode, speed limit. There we go. Let's try that out. So we're set at 20 and we can raise it up to 28. So we'll get in there and mess with that on the actual ride. I'm gonna start it out in 20 and then we'll modify it later. Success. Screen brightness. So we are on, oh, there's an auto mode. This is great. And auto power off, automatic light. So what is the setting for the auto light right now? Auto light is on rear light mode. Oh, so there's different light modes. Throttle limit. Oh, so you can turn on or off the throttle limit. Awesome, man. Cruise control is set to off right now. And connect to app. So there, that's how you do that. And then Apple Find My, sweet. Units. Now the Velotric app is not necessary, but let's load it up. Pair up my bike, Discover 2. And then there's a little QR code. Nice, looks like it came right up. Oh, so pretty clean looking app. Shows us our battery percentage, how many miles are on it. Get into the settings here. So it looks like, oh nice, yeah, we can adjust all these apps right here. You might be hearing little whiny doggy over here getting a little impatient. He doesn't care about the app. He just wants to go ride. We'll check it out here. We have screen brightness. Let's see if this stuff works on the fly. Oh yeah, very nice. You can see it change. Change our speed limits and stuff real quick. Auto power off, cruise control, throttle limit, all this stuff. So we can go to start riding and it will start our ride. All right, dudes, let's take out the Velotric Discover 2. We'll try out the Apple Find My feature here in just a bit and we'll bring the owner's manual in case we need it. I did not put that bell on there, but let's fire this display up. Look at that beautiful TFT display. And of course, we're on a full charge. We'll fire up the Strava here so we can track our official range on this 705 watt-hour battery. And we'll fire up the Velotric app as well so we can track our stuff on there. And for today's ride, I really don't have any use for this rack for the front as well as the rear rack. Show you what that looks like. Step-through frame makes it super easy to get on this bike. And we do have that automatic headlight on, which that is a pretty bright headlight. I think they say 130 lux. So the very first test we're gonna do on this e-bike is run it up the 20% grade on pedal assist 5, boost mode. I weigh 200 pounds, throttle only. Let's see what it can do on its own. They say 75 Newton meters of torque, and it's pulling us up the 20% grade on its own, not pedaling this thing at all, at 2.6 miles an hour at the top. Now let's pedal just a little bit rolling into this. It is a torque sensor on boost mode. I have it in the lowest gear. I'm just gonna help it just a little bit here. And it shows us how much power it's giving us there. Like, you see the purple line moving there? So pretty solid performance overall, definitely stronger than the original Discover 1 I reviewed. So we'll go ahead and flip it on down into Eco mode, pedal assist 1. This is a torque sensor. Let's see, can you see that TFT screen through my polarized sunglasses? It kind of filters it out, unfortunately. I guess there is some sort of film you could put over there to make a polarized lens work on it. But Eco mode, let's go ahead and get rolling here on the lowest possible setting. So it'll give you power based on how hard you're pressing on the pedal. Sometimes people want to know how slow can you go on an e-bike? Well, this one, on pedal assist 1 here on eco mode, it's giving us very, very little power here. You can see the little green line popping up there. You can actually go like really slow on this thing if you want. You know, say you're towing a dog, towing a trailer with some kids on it or something. You don't gotta worry about it giving you too much power. You can roll on eco mode. Let's bump that on up to pedal assist 2 here. Should give us just a little bit more. And we're still on gear 1 here, bumping on to gear 2 out of 8. We'll put it on gear 3 on pedal assist 3 on eco mode now, and it's giving us just a little bit more power here. So a torque sensor compared to a cadence sensor is going to give you, the torque sensor gives you power based on how hard you're pressing on the pedals. A lot of times the cheaper cadence sensor style ones, they'll leave you in a situation where you're ghost pedaling, or it'll like force you to go faster than you want to go. This pedal assist system allows us to much better control our speed and feels a lot more natural. Let's bump it on up to pedal assist 5 on eco mode now, feel it out. So torque sensor is feeling very responsive. As soon as I start pressing on the pedals, it's giving me power in proportion to how hard I'm pressing. And we're gonna bump it on up a couple gears. We're on gear number 6 now. Let's see what happens if we start pedaling from a really slow speed here with that torque sensor. So on eco mode,
giving us a controlled amount of power here. And we are still locked to 20 miles an hour. We'll change that to 28 in just a few. Seat and riding position on this thing is feeling very comfortable. So let's bump it on down to pedal assist 3 now, and then move it on up to trail mode. So on trail mode, let's go ahead and give it a little bit of a pedal here, see how this feels. It's making us work for it just a little bit still on trail mode. So this will be a nice bike to actually get some exercise in. And gear number 5 or 6 here, bump it on up, 6, 7, and 8. So we have a nice range of gears. I love that this bike has 8 gears instead of 7 like most e-bikes. And yeah, man, that torque sensor's feeling nice on this Velopower drivetrain system, just like on some of the previous torque sensor e-bikes I've tried from Velotric. Now this does have the 27.5 inch tall wheels, so this thing's gonna be riding very smooth over imperfections on the road. Basically, the larger tire helps you feel more comfortable riding on the road compared to a shorter wheel. And these are a reasonable width tire, I think 2.4 inches, 2.5, somewhere in there. So they're gonna be a little bit light, more nimble compared to like a 4-inch fat tire. First impressions though, let's run over these bumps here. Feeling like a very nice riding electric bicycle, man. So before we unlock the top speed, let's bump it on over to boost mode, the top speed here. Give it a little throttle off the line here on 3 and get rolling here, downshift to gear 2. Now boost mode, let's see what this will let us get up to. Pedal assist 5, and oh yeah, I can feel it. This is boost mode, baby. So, all right, so it is cutting us off at 20 miles an hour. We're gonna unlock the top speed now. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and just ride this thing off-road. So this does have the narrow, wide chainring up front. That should help you keep your chain on so it won't pop off while you're riding off-road. Now this isn't going to be really like an off-road bike, but it does have that front suspension that is adjustable. You can adjust how firm or tight it is with some clicks on there. If you want the ride to be more plush, you could put a suspension seat post on it. I think this is actually fine in this form. So we'll get into the menu here, change the speed limit on this thing up to 28. Super easy, beautiful menus to work with. Success. Then also there is this throttle limited, which we have it on. I'm just gonna turn it off and see how that works. So I believe everything is unlocked now. In boost mode, let's go ahead, hop in traffic behind this Ferrari 360. Is that what that is? Sounds beautiful. Let's see here, it's letting us pedal beyond 28 now. 25 is showing up there on the dash. We'll get out the GPS here in just a few. Showing 30 on the dash and giving us power up to right around 30 where it cuts us off. So a little bit faster than I was expecting, to tell you the truth. I thought this thing would be a hard limit at 28, but here we are cruising with traffic, man. Pretty powerful bike, man. We'll flip on a turn signal. Why not? We got them, right? Signal our way on over here. So it does show you your signal's on the dashboard. And man, this is a fun bike with these big 27.5 inch wheels on nimble, skinnier tires. So let's go ahead and do a 0 to 20 acceleration on this bike. Thumb throttle on the left, GPS my right hand. I weigh 200 pounds. Full throttle, boost mode, pedal assist 5, ready, go. Full throttle, so it kind of eases on that power right off the gate. You can feel it kick on pretty strong. I see it showing full power. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And throttle unlock will allow you to use throttle only beyond just 20. And we are going a little too quick for here. I'm gonna let off. GPS will lag just a little bit there, so let's see if that's accurate. And that torque sensor just really makes it feel so natural, like you're riding a bicycle, but you know, it just gives you a little bit of that juice. So, I mean, if you're looking for something that's more of a bicycle than a motorcycle that you're gonna actually get some exercise on, but help you go a little further, a little faster, you know, this is really the kind of electric bicycle you want, man. And flip a blinker on and whip this thing around. See what kind of top speed we can hit according to GPS. Turn that blinker back off. So throttle only, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26. Check the mirrors, nobody's behind us. 27, 28, 27 on GPS, 28 on GPS, 29 on GPS, 30 on board. Come on, give me 30 on here, baby. So we could probably shift a gear, maybe help pedal a little bit. Probably hit 30, 31. With a little bit of pedaling, we can hit 31 on the GPS, man. I mean, but it's starting to cut power, and probably try the brakes here a little bit. Feeling good. And to touch on the thumb throttle, literally and figuratively, I'm really loving this one. I have not seen this thumb throttle on any other e-bike before, but I really like how light it is and how easy it is to like control your power input. I feel like a lot of them are just like on-off switches and kind of clunky. This one feels like pretty refined. I like it. Really natural place for your thumb just to kind of fall in line. Some of them, it's hard to explain, but if you rode a lot of e-bikes, you kind of got to reach for them and they make your thumb feel fatigued after a while. Spring is here, baby. Get yourself an e-bike, man. It's just too fun. So check it out. You can get into the menus here and do cruise control. It's off. I want to flip that on. Check it out. Say you're riding for a while and you're tired of pedaling. You can hold down this button down here for about 2 seconds and boom, baby, we got cruise control. Indicated by a little light there on the dash. It'll just hold us at whatever speed it was when you held it down. And this is what I call cruising, man. Then of course, to turn the cruise control up, all you gotta do is tap a brake lever. Let's go ahead and try and run it up this thing, up this sand hill a little bit outside of its element. Oh yeah, this isn't gonna be your #1 pick for, you know, off-roading, riding in the sand, but I like to put all my bikes to the ringer, see what they can really do. Let's hit that throttle a little bit, kick up that 75 Newton meters of torque back there. And it is a hardtail electric bike, which helps keep the weight down. You could throw a suspension seat post on there if you want to really mellow out all the bumps and have the most cushiest ride of all time. But that wide seat on the back is actually super comfortable, and with these taller 27.5-inch wheels, it actually rolled over that off-road stuff pretty good. But if you're buying this bike, you should be buying this thing to be riding it on the street mostly. So let's go ahead and see how it'll do riding on the boardwalk and the sand. Now this bike is definitely, it doesn't have wide enough tires to actually like ride on the sand. Let's just see how this feels. So like I said, you can throw a suspension seat post on this bike if you want, you know, a little better feel riding over stuff. Let's just see how we can do. So full throttle, riding in the sand. Yeah, our tires are just gonna kind of sink, but 75 Newton meters of torque. You really need something like the Nomad 1 to ride out here. Yeah, I'm gonna call it quits here. Although it is kind of powering through. Pretty powerful bike. Yeah, dude, keep this thing on the street. And riding position on this thing, I'm loving the swept back handlebars. It just keeps you in a really nice upright riding position, but you can still get power down to those pedals to take advantage of that torque sensor. And as we were reaching top speed before, I noticed that I could still easily put down power to the pedals because it does have 8 gears when I was hitting higher speeds up to like 28, 30 miles an hour. Right now, cruising on about 19 miles an hour here on gear number 8. This is a very chill cadence, very natural feeling ride. Digging this bike, dude. So we're gonna go ahead and run it up the California Incline and then test the brakes. California Incline is the top of this 85-foot cliff. It's a 12% grade. We'll run it on boost mode, pedal assist 5, and we'll drop it down to gear 2 in case we need it. Don't think we will. We'll get on the throttle and let's see if I can balance it going around this corner. Throttle only up the loop-de-loop section here. Pulling itself right on up with that 75 Newton meters of torque. Perfectly fine, holding about 8 miles an hour throttle only. And we'll do an official test on the brakes here in just a few. Right at the bottom of the California Incline before we hit that wall. Starting at the base of the California Incline, throttle only. Pedal assist 5 pulling us 8, 9 miles an hour, 10, 13. Showing full power here, 14. 1100 watts peak power, 750 nominal. Showing 16 miles an hour, climbing the California Incline. Not pedaling at all. Looks like somebody has given up here, just pushing on the right. We're about to go blowing past an acoustic bicycle here. 14 miles an hour and holding right around 14 miles an hour. So now let's floor it, going down the California Incline, see if the brakes work at the end. And we are rolling on upgraded Tektro hydraulic brakes, 180 millimeter rotors, hydraulic. Let's see if they work. Give a little bit of a squeeze of the lever here. Yeah, dude, plenty of stopping power. That was a little dramatic. So if you get yourself in an emergency situation where you need to stop quickly from around 20 miles an hour, these brakes got your back, dude. So let's try the Apple Find My feature. Gotta bring this thing to stop to get in the menus. Go down to Find My and success. Boom, there it is. It shows we are right by the Santa Monica Pier, and there is the Santa Monica Pier right there. And we are showing 65% remaining on the battery. Let's head on home, see what the final range is. But first, let me share my final thoughts. So list price of this e-bike is right around 1,800 bucks, but I do have a discount code linked below this video in the description box. And if you did buy through that link, it would help support my reviews here on Tailhappy TV. And I greatly appreciate your support. But final thoughts on this thing, man, it is a very nice riding electric bike. The torque sensor on this thing is excellent, man. This is like, I have it on boost mode, and like when I'm just barely pedaling this thing on boost mode, like you can tell like it's very well calibrated so that, you know, so it picks up like little minor inputs. It can really sense like a small amount of change in your input. That cannot be said for all torque sensors, so this one I feel like is really, really good. The TFT display on this bike is excellent. I love the font. It's just a very beautiful looking product in general, including the display. I love the red on this bike, but they do have, I think, 4 total color options in the link below. And the riding position on this bike is excellent, man. I'm loving it. So if you're looking for a commuter style electric bike, something that you can get some exercise on, get a little bit of workout in, something that rides more like a bicycle than a motorcycle, I think the Velotric Discover 2 is an absolute excellent option. I mean, the Discover 1 was a great bike. This is an improvement over that. It just costs a little bit more, but I definitely think the price justifies the significant improvements on this e-bike. I mean, UL certified battery, IPX7 rated. You could put it underwater for 30 minutes. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but it's a cool stat for you. So let's head on home, see what the final range is. Done to about 53%, still cooking, dude. All right, dudes, just rolling back into the neighborhood here. 18 miles on the dot, hour 26 minutes of ride time, 12.43 mile per hour average speed. And we are showing exactly 49% remaining on the battery. Now I was out there hammering it on boost mode, pedal assist 5 all day long. They say you could do 75 miles max range on this e-bike. You know, if I burn through half the battery in about 18 miles, I'd probably end up right around, you know, 36 miles. Now I know for sure if I gave it a little bit more of an effort on the pedaling and slowed my pace down a bit, I could definitely do far more than that. I think the 705 watt-hour battery is the perfect size for this bike. You really don't want to load it up with too much battery and take away from the handling and nimbleness of the bike. All around, awesome bike. Highly recommend it. If you do want to grab one, buy it through the link below. And also, Velotric does have a 2-year warranty, industry-leading warranty on this e-bike. And if you have any problems with it down the road, they do have brick-and-mortar service locations where you can get this bike repaired. That's something that a lot of online e-bike companies cannot say, but Velotric can. Awesome bike. If you're looking for a commuter, buy this bike through the link below this video. Use my discount code. Dude, this thing is straight up soaked. Let's put it back in the bike and see what happens. Here goes nothing. No way. It turns on. Wow. It's like nothing ever happened, dude. What in the world? I gotta tell you, man, this is the first battery, the first e-bike battery I've ever thrown in the water, man. I was pretty nervous that this was actually gonna work, but it freaking did, dude. It freaking did. I wouldn't necessarily recommend you throw your battery in water or the washing machine or anything like that. I just don't think that there's any need for that. Could be wrong. Just to be clear, I did this after my review, so there may need to be a follow-up video on if this battery continues to work, because we'll see.